Hello 1A, how are you today? Today we have Connected Plus, Unit 11, entitled It's 10 o'clock. Okay, now open your student book page 68, Unit 11, It's 10 o'clock. Exercise 1, look, listen and read. First, what can you see? We have here Hani, Hannah, Mom and Dad. Okay, are they at home? No, they are outside. So, where are they? They are in Alexandria. What's in this picture? Okay, this is Kate Bay Fort. So they went to Alexandria to visit Kate Bay Fort. Now listen and read. Hannah, here we are in Alexandria. What time is it? Hanny, it's 10 o'clock. Let's go to the beach. Mom, let's visit Kite Bay Fort at 12 o'clock. Dad, let's eat fish at a restaurant at 6 o'clock. Okay, as you listened, what time is it? Yes, it's 10 o'clock. Does Hanny want to go to the beach? Yes, he does. What will they visit at 12 o'clock? They will visit Kate Bay Fort. Okay, where will they go at 6 o'clock? Yes, they will go to a restaurant to eat fish. Now, look at page 69 at the fish restaurant. Restaurant is a place where we can buy or eat meals. You can have lunch, dinner, or breakfast at a restaurant. As we said before, Hani and his family want to eat fish. So they will go to the fish restaurant. Exercise 1. Read and circle the numbers. Okay, what can you see? What is it? So it's a menu. When you are in a restaurant, the waiter or a waitress give you a menu to choose the food you want to eat. So we have here a menu of Muntaza Fish Restaurant. Muntaza Fish Restaurant. Okay, what can you see in this menu? Okay, we have a chef, soup, dips, salad, fish, and a bottle of water. Where is this restaurant? Where is it? Okay, it's in Alexandria, and its address 321 The Corniche, Alexandria, Egypt. Okay, what time is it open? Okay, it's open from 12 o'clock to 10 o'clock every day. And what's the telephone number of this restaurant? Okay, 02-1111-5555. Okay, what kinds of food they have here? They have soups like lentil soup and fish soup. They have dips like hummus and tahina. They have salad, bread, fish, crab, shrimp, and they have drinks too, like water and orange juice. Okay, how much does the salad cost? Yes, it's £5. How about fish soup? How much does it cost? It's £8. And shrimps? Yes, the shrimp costs £15. Now you have to read this menu again and circle the numbers. Exercise 2. Find and point, then write. Number 1. A telephone number. What's the telephone number of Muntaza Fish Restaurant? Yes, it's 02-1111-5555. Okay, number 2. Prices. How about prices here? We have lentil soup, £4, fish soup, £8, hummus, £3, tahina, £3, salad, £5, and so on. Okay, you have to write all the prices. Number 3, a building number. In which building this restaurant is? Okay, in 321. Again, 321. 4, a time. What time is this restaurant open? Yes, it's open from 12 o'clock to 10 o'clock. From 12 to 10. Number 5, how much water in a bottle? How much water in a bottle? It's 1 liter. So write 1 liter. Okay, now look at this table. Let's remember the days of the week together. We have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, look at the second column. We have brush my teeth. Okay, I brush my teeth every day. I always brush my teeth. I brush my teeth on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So I always do this. I always brush my teeth. The third one, go to school. Okay, I don't go to school on Saturday and Friday, but I go to school on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So how many times I go to school? I go to school 5 times a week. So I usually go to school. Number 4, use a computer. How many times I use a computer? Okay, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times a week. I use a computer on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. I don't use the computer on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I say I often or I often. I often use a computer 4 times a week. Number 4, eat fish. Eat fish. How many times I eat fish in a week? I eat fish twice, on Saturday and Sunday. So I sometimes eat fish. I sometimes eat fish. The last one, drink tea. As you see here, do I drink tea? No, I don't like to drink tea. So I never drink tea. So these are the adverbs of frequency. How many times I do this verb? Always, usually or usually, often or often, sometimes or never. If I do this verb every day, I say always. I always brush my teeth. But when I do this verb 5 times or 6 times a week, I use usually. I usually go to school. Then we have often. I often use a computer. Sometimes. I sometimes eat fish. Then we have never. I don't do this verb. I never drink tea. So here we have a new question word with how often. How often do you go swimming? Which means how many times. How many times do you go swimming? How often? How often? كم مرة? How often do you go swimming? If I go swimming every day, so I'll say I always go swimming. I do it every day. If I go swimming 5 or 6 times a week, I use usually. I usually go swimming. Then we have often, 4 or 3 times a week. I often go swimming. Sometimes. I sometimes go swimming. Then we have never. I don't go swimming. I never go swimming. So again, repeat after me. Always, usually, often, sometimes, never. Now look at page 70, exercise 1. Look, listen and read. We have here two boys. They are talking to each other. Okay, listen, then read. How often do you go to the restaurant? I sometimes go to a restaurant. How often do you visit the library? I often visit the library. Exercise 2. Write true or false, then ask and answer. Okay, we have here a table with the adverbs of frequency, always, usually, often, sometimes, and never. And we have some activities you do, like go to the beach, play football, go to the playground, go swimming, read a book. Now you have to tick the column to show how often you do each activity. If you go to the beach every day, so tick always. For example, if you go swimming 3 times a week, so you can tick sometimes or often. So this exercise is up to you. It's your own answers. You have to do it alone at home.
How often do you?
How often do you?
How often do you brush your teeth?
How often do you? How often do you?
Always, always, I always brush my teeth. How often do you?
How often do you?
How often do you use chopsticks?
How often do you? How often do you?
Usually, I usually use chopsticks. How often do you?
How often do you?
How often do you take out the trash?
How often do you? How often do you?
Often, I often take out the trash. How often do you?
How often do you?
How often do you do the laundry?
How often do you? How often do you?
Sometimes, I sometimes do the laundry. How often do you?
How often do you?
How often do you make cookies?
How often do you? How often do you?
Rarely, I rarely make cookies. How often do you?
How often do you?
How often do you drive a car?
How often do you? How often do you?
Never, I never drive a car.
Now look at these 3 clocks. Clock number 1. What time is it? Yes, it's 12 o'clock. Is it day or night? Yes, it's day. So it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon means it's midday. Again, midday. Look at clock number 2. What time is it? It's 12 o'clock again. But we're here at night. It's 12 o'clock at night, so it's midnight. Again, midnight. So repeat after me. Midday, midnight. Now look at the clock number 3. What time is it? What's the time here? Okay, we have the two hands of the clock. The short hand on 10 and the long hand is on 3. When the long hand of the clock is on 3, we use quarter past. Quarter past. So what's the time here? It's quarter past 10. It's quarter past 10. Okay, now look at your book, page 71, exercise 1. Listen, read, and say. Okay, how many clocks we have here? We have 4 clocks. Look at the first clock. What time is it? We have the two hands on 3. So it's quarter past 3. Number 2, what time is it? Again, the short hand is on 10 and the long hand is on 3. And as we said before, when the long hand is on 3, we said quarter past. So it's quarter past 10. Number 3, we have here the sun. It's 12 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's midday. Number 4, it's 12 o'clock at night, so it's midnight. So again, repeat after me. Quarter past 3, quarter past 10, midday, midnight. Now exercise 2, listen and match. Look at the pictures and guess the activities shown. What times you can see in the clocks? So we have 12 o'clock or midday. We have half past 6, 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock. The first picture, what's he doing here? He's eating. Number 2, what are they doing? They are playing. Number 3, he is sleeping. No, he gets up. Okay. Number 4, she is eating. Now, listen. You have to listen to match the times with the correct activity. 1. I have breakfast at 6:30. 2. I play in the playground at 4 o'clock. 3. I wake up at 7 o'clock. 4. I have lunch at midday. Now open your book, page 72, exercise 1, look, listen, and read. You are going to listen and read about the girl's day, and her name is Judy. So please listen, then read. I'm Judy. On school days, I get up at 6:30. I walk to school. I usually have sandwiches for lunch. I sometimes go to the playground at 4 o'clock. I never sleep late. I like weekends. I have breakfast at 8:30. I usually go swimming at 11 o'clock. I sometimes play with my friends. I go to bed at 8 o'clock. So this is Judy, and she tells us what she does on school days and on weekends. On school days, she gets up at 6:30. She walks to school. She has sandwiches for lunch. She goes to the playground at 4 o'clock and she never sleeps late. But on weekends, she has breakfast at 8:30. She usually goes swimming at 11 o'clock. She plays with her friends and she goes to bed at 8 o'clock. Now exercise 2. Read and draw the time. So you have to complete the clocks for the times that Judy does each of the things on a school day and on the weekend. So on school days, she gets up at, yes, she gets up at 6:30. Okay, she has lunch. Actually, in the passage, we don't know what time does she have lunch. So it's up to you. It's your own answer. You can draw the time you like. So, for example, we can say she has lunch at 2 o'clock. She goes to the playground at 4 o'clock. But on weekends, she has breakfast. What time does she have breakfast? She has breakfast at 8:30. So draw. The long hand of the clock is on 6 and the short hand is on 8. She goes swimming. She goes swimming at 11 o'clock. So draw. The long hand is on 12 and the short hand is on 11. Finally, she goes to bed at 8 o'clock. So the long hand is on 12 and the short hand is on 8. So please draw the time. Now we are on page 73, exercise 3, ask and answer. We have a boy and a girl. They talk to each other. And we have a clock. What time is it? Yes, it's 7 o'clock. So the boy asks, what time do you get up on school days? The girl, on school days, I get up at 7 o'clock. So how about you? What time do you get up on school days? And what time do you get up on weekends? Exercise 4. Write your answers. In this exercise, you have to read the questions and to write your own answers. The first question, what time do you have lunch on school days? Number 2, what time do you go to bed on school days? So it's up to you, it's your own answers. Exercise 5, what do you do on weekends? Draw and write. In this exercise, you have to draw a picture to show one or more of the things you always do on weekends and then complete the sentence. So you can draw yourself playing football, for example, and complete the sentence, on weekends I always play football. Now we are on page 74, exercise 1. Listen and circle the correct picture. Draw the time. As you see here, we have two pictures and a clock. Picture number 1. What is it? Yes, it's a restaurant. Number 2, it's a fort. Now, you're going to hear a voice describing what he does on vacation. You must listen and circle the correct picture, then draw the correct time on the clock. So please listen carefully. I never go to school on vacation. We usually go to the beach. I like the sea. We sometimes go to a fort. It's fun. I never go to bed early. I usually go to bed at 9:15. So which picture is correct? Yes, you have to circle the second picture. Now, what time does he go to bed? Yes, he goes to bed at 9:15. 9:15. So the long hand of the clock is on 3 and the short hand is on 9. Exercise 2. Circle, draw and write. Okay, we have here a blue box with the adverbs of frequency. Let's read. Always, usually, often, sometimes, never. Okay, and we have here 5 pictures. What can you see in these pictures? The first picture, they are at the library. The second one, they are at the playground. Number 3, restaurant. 4, Cape Bay Fort. 5, the beach. Okay, question number 1. What do you do when you go on vacation? He asks you, so it's up to you, it's your own answer. Number 2, what time do you go to bed on vacation? So again, it's your own answer. You can write any time and you have to draw the time. Now page 75, exercise 1. Look at the bar graph and complete the sentences. As we see here, we have a bar graph. So what this bar graph shows? Yes, it shows the time students go to bed. So we have here 10 students and we have 5 different times. We have 7 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30, and 9 o'clock. Look at sentence number 1. Space, students go to bed at 7 o'clock. Point to 7 o'clock on the bar graph and count how many students go to bed at 7 o'clock. So let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 students go to bed at 7 o'clock. Number 2, space, students go to bed at 9 o'clock. So first find 9 o'clock, point to it, and count how many students. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 students. Write 7. Number 3, most students go to bed at the most students. As we said before, most means the largest, so or the biggest. The biggest number of students go to bed at, yes, at 7:30 or 7:30. So right, 7:30. Number 4, the same number of students go to bed at 8 o'clock, and on the bar graph we have 2 equal rows with the same number of students. Look at 8 o'clock. How many students go to bed at 8 o'clock? Yes, we have 9 students go to bed at 8 o'clock. Which row is equal to this row? Yes, 8:30. Look at 8:30. How many students go to bed at 8:30? The same number, which is 9 students. So the same number of students go to bed at 8 o'clock and 8:30. 9 students go to bed at 8 o'clock and 9 students go to bed at 8:30 or 8:30. So write 8:30. Now we are on page 76. Learn phonics with Busy Bee. Exercise 1. Listen, point, and say. 1. Time. I. 2. Pie. I. 3. Fly. I. Look at picture number 1. Time. Time. Between I and E, we have a consonant letter which is M. So I, consonant E, pronounce it I, time. Number 2, IE together, pronounced I, pie. Number 3, letter Y at the end of the word, pronounced I, fly. Exercise 2, underline I, E, or I consonant E, and I, E, or Y. Say the words. Number 1, what is it? Yes, it's a kite. Again, kite. I. So underline I, E. Number 2, tie. I, E together. Tie. 3, sky. So underline Y. Exercise 3, write and say. We have a yellow box with 3 words. Let's read them together. Time, sky, pie. Look at picture number 1. What is it? Yes, it's a pie. So I like pie. Number 2, look at picture number 2. What can you see? Yes, we have here 2 kites. Where are these kites? Yes, they are in the sky. So number 2, the kites fly in the sky. Number 3, what is it? It's a clock. And we have a question mark. So it's a question. What's the? Yes, what's the time? So I consonant E, I, E, and Y at the end of the word, pronounced I. Now we are on the next page, 77, at the Alexandria Library. Library, it's a place where we can read books, okay? And we can do many activities there. Alexandria Library, it's a famous library which is in Alexandria. And we have here some information about this library. So exercise 1, where are these numbers in a library? What do they tell us? Point and say. Okay, as you see here we have 4 photographs or 4 pictures with many numbers. These photographs show parts of the famous Alexandria Library. So look at photograph number 1 and guess, where can we find these numbers? So these numbers are in an elevator. They tell us how many floors there are. Look at photograph number 2. We have also numbers here. And these numbers are room numbers. They tell us what we can find in different rooms in the library. Number 3, we have here books with numbers. And these numbers are on books. They tell us how to find different books in the library. Number 4, these numbers are times. They tell us what times you can visit the library. Now exercise 2, read and write. We have first read this blue box. The library has a reading area, a puppet show area, a computer lab, a craft area, and a planetarium. As I said before, in Alexandria Library, we have many activities you can do there. You can read books, see a puppet show, use the computer, do craft, and see the planets and the stars at a planetarium. Now let's complete. You visit Alexandria Library for 3 hours. Plan your trip. What will you do? 1. Let's go to the first. 2. Let's go to the second. 3. Let's go to the third. So imagine that you are at the Alexandria Library and you have only 3 hours to do these activities. What will you do? If you are going to read books, so you have to go to the reading area. If you are going to see a puppet show, so you have to go to the puppet show area. If you want to use the computer, so right, let's go to the computer area or computer lab. If you want to do a craft to make a model, for example, so you have to go to a craft area. Finally, if you want to see the stars and the planets, you have to visit the planetarium. So this exercise is for you. It's up to you. It's your own answers. Write whatever you want to do there. Now look at page 78, Rules for the Library. So in this lesson, you are going to look at and listen to some rules in a library. You have to follow these rules. Exercise 1, listen and read. 1. Always stand in a line. 2. Always put your trash in the bin. 3. Please don't shout. 4. Always ask the librarian before you take anything. So rule number 1, always stand in a line. Don't stand randomly. Like number 3 here, picture number 3. They stand in a line. Rule number 2, always put your trash in the bin. Like picture 2, look at this boy. He puts his trash in the bin. Number 3, please don't shout. Don't raise your voice in a library. Like number 4, picture number 4. Rule number 4, always ask the librarian before you take anything. Librarian is a person who works in a library, and he always helps us in the library. So if you want anything, please ask him first. Like picture number 1. Exercise 2, read again and number. So you have to read these 4 rules again and number the pictures. Now we are on page 79, time zones, and please pay attention. Okay, the world where we live is round, like a football. Because of this, the sun comes up at different times in different parts of the world. So, for example, when it's night in Egypt, it's day in Australia. For this reason, not all countries have the same times. They have different time zones. Now, look at exercise 1. Listen and read. We have here 4 kids, and we have 4 different times. Look at number 1. Listen and read. My name is Yusuf. I live in Cairo. It's midday. I'm on my school break. Number 2. My name is Daisy. I live in London. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm at school. Number 3. My name is Chang. I live in Beijing. It's 6 o'clock in the evening. I'm watching TV. Number 4. This is Rosie. She lives in New York. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. She's sleeping. So we have here 4 different countries. We have Cairo. We have London, Beijing, which is the capital of China, and New York. These countries don't have the same times, okay? They have different time zones. The time gets later when you move east and earlier when you move west. So when it's midday in Egypt, it's 10 o'clock in England, but 6 o'clock in China. And this is called time zones. I know it's difficult, but I'm trying to make it easier. Now exercise 2. Read again and answer. Number 1. It's 12 o'clock in Cairo. What's the time in New York? New York. Number 4. What's the time there? Yes, it's 5 o'clock in the morning in New York. Number 2. It's 10 o'clock in London. What's the time in Beijing? Again, Beijing. Number 3. What's the time there? Okay, it's 6 o'clock in the evening in Beijing. Number 3. Who is on a break? Who? Ask about the person. Who is on break? School break. Yusuf, Daisy, Chang, or Rosie? Yes, Yusuf. Yusuf is on break. Number 4. Who is sleeping? Yes, Rosie is sleeping in New York. Now I let you watch a video about time zones, and I hope you understand it.
It's some time. Why do we have different time zones?
'Cause we have different watches.
Nah. Our Earth rotates on its own axis. Due to this rotation, different parts of the Earth receive different amounts of sunlight, thus causing morning, noon, evening, and night. Now, if we had one time zone, then 12 p.m. would be noon at some places, but it would be night or evening at other places, which would be inconvenient. Hence, scientists made different time zones according to the Earth's rotation with respect to the Sun.
But how?
The Earth makes one full 360-degree rotation in 24 hours. This means in 1 hour, the Earth moves by 15 degrees. Using this information, scientists divided the planet into 24 sections or time zones. Each section or region was about 15 degrees wide and had a specific standard time. This helped us know the proper time of the day in that part of the Earth.
Hold on, guys. Can you guess the title of my next video? Hurry up! Write your guess in the comment section below.
Finally, we are on page 80, My Classroom Rules. Make a list of rules for your classroom. Okay, you have to write 4 rules, what you should do and what you shouldn't do inside your class. Look at number 1, picture number 1, and guess. What can you write here? Yes, don't shout inside your class. Don't shout. Look at number 2. Yummy. We have here delicious food. So, should you eat inside your class? No, you shouldn't eat. So, write, don't eat in the classroom. Number 3. What can you see here? We have a bin. So, you have to put your trash in the bin or throw your trash in the bin. Number 4, we have here a student like you. So what should you do here? Yes, you should listen to your teacher. So write, listen to your teacher.